Hey everybody, what's going on? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and on today's episode, rather than our normal caffeine and crypto, which by the way I do have my caffeine in case you want to grab yours, we have a special guest on, and that special guest is Seb from Sebs FinTech, and I'm gonna bring him up right now. How you doing,
Hey
Seb?
everybody. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure, absolute pleasure. Sorry for the time difference, but I appreciate you being available to come on.
Oh,
Um,
no problem at all.
So I understand you're in the EU, and I noticed a lot of my viewers are actually from either Canada, North America, or the EU. I want you to go into a little bit about yourself, about your channel, and just give us a general introduction for us.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm definitely newer in the whole crypto mining space than yourself. You're quite a bit of an OG in the space. I actually started mining this year, early, I believe it was March, and I was working in visual effects for feature films before.
Nice.
Got unfortunately, I was made redundant due to the pandemic,
Right.
and just after sort of coasting for a bit, got into YouTube, um, which is something I've kind of been wanting to do for quite a bit. But for this, it was just on a whim. I was like, oh, I'll just kind of record a video on me putting together my first mining rig. And it was just a lot of fun making videos about it. And then it just kind of spiraled out of control from there, I guess.
That's usually how it grows.
Yeah.
So I can say that even if you look at some of the old school Bitcoin documentaries, it's really how it starts off. You start off with just one, right? You start off with one.
Hmm.
You're starting to play around, familiarize yourself with the mining programs, the devs in general of those mining programs, and then it just grows into not an addiction, but it grows into a hobby that can be sometimes expensive, especially right now. But we want to talk to you today about why you should consider mining cryptocurrency, and more importantly, why it's better than buying cryptocurrency. Um, Real quick, what we're going to do is going to move Seb to the side. I just want to talk about the market. So the market right now is down. We're mostly red across the board. A few coins doing good, nothing too crazy, but it's still profitable, right? And compared to days when we were at $3,200 Bitcoin, when I was still mining at those levels, we are definitely doing a lot better. Long term prospects, not financial advice. Mining's here to stay, baby. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people wish that when ETH 2.0 comes around, mining will be dead. Mining is here to stay, and it's something that there will always be. Even if one coin falls off, there will be other coins to take its place. So let's speak to that. I'm gonna bring Seb back up. When you said, because of this pandemic, you had more availability to start working, and you just decided, hey, I'm gonna pick up the camera and record my journey. And that's actually how I started as well. It's just, all right, well, got my cell phone, right? Which the quality, sorry for my old videos, guys, my quality sucked, but hey, I grabbed the camera and I recorded my journey. What would you say your first rig or mining setup was? Was it just a regular computer case?
No, so I went into it wanting to build a rig. And so I hadn't learned how to get good deals on graphics cards in this and like environment we're in now. So I bought a very overpriced 1070 used off of like eBay. And funny thing is, so that was my very first GPU I ever bought, at least specifically for mining, right? It got damaged in shipping,
Oh,
so I got reimbursed for the whole thing, but I was able to fix it.
nice,
So my very first mining GPU I basically got for free.
nice, very
Yeah.
nice.
So
So
off to a great start, right?
how did you wind up fixing it?
It was just the fan was busted.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
so
So I could just replace the fans.
And there's actually people out there that I know a few of them in Red Panda's mining's Discord that will actually repair broken
Yeah.
GPUs that will help out people if need be. So And then where did it grow from there? You went from a 1070
Yeah.
into what? What was your next one?
1060, I believe. I at that point I was just getting anything I could get my hands on, and so I built maybe it was like a 5 GPU rig of just mixed 10 series cards, and then I started getting into like 16 series cards from there.
Gotcha.
And that's when I discovered like 1660 Supers, which I really like for Ethereum mining.
Oh yeah.
They're basically just like half a 3070 for half the price.
And they're efficient too.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're like head to head on efficiency with 3070s, basically like 32 mega hash at 64 watts.
Right, and when my brother-in-law needed GPUs, my idea to kind of win out and go net positive was, after years of mining on the 1070s, I'll sell these Zotac 1070 minis, and then I went to turn around and got an EVGA 1660 Supers. So more efficient, a little bit better hash rate, and plus the only other 1070 I had was a blower style. So let's Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because you were speaking a little bit on like mining is here to stay, and I absolutely agree on that. I don't know if you saw, I made a video a couple weeks ago where I tried to do the math on like what profits might look like after Ethereum goes proof of stake, and I was actually quite surprised. What I did was I just took the net hash of the top 30 profitable coins right now, and I converted like the net hash of Ethereum to like what would that look like spread onto those, because of course like the hash rate isn't the same on different coins. Like for example, a 3070 will do 60 mega hash on Ethereum but 30 on Ravencoin, so I had to convert all of the net hash, and it ended up being fairly profitable still.
Nice.
But of course there's too many variables. Like I tried to take how much of the Ethereum hash rate is ASICs, how much is just kind of gamers that's gonna give up once Ethereum goes away and they don't really have, the willingness to learn how to mine a different coin and things like that. You can never tell the future, but from my sort of like assumptions, it looked a lot more positive than I thought it would.
And you mentioned a key point, which is in it relayed in my video, but I didn't call any specific individual out. But a lot of the tech tubers were kind of setting the expectation that when EVE 2.0 comes, mining prices, or excuse me, GPU prices will go down because mining is not going to be profitable. Again, as I mentioned, and as everybody knows, there's other coins to mine. But you mentioned a key point, which is gamers that are just not going to want to continue. So they're gonna have their GPUs. Ethereum's not going to be mineable anymore. It's not as profitable to mine other coins. It's still profitable, but not as profitable. And they may turn around and the secondhand market may get flooded with GPUs. Now, I wish for that day, to be honest, because once the secondhand market and those gamers do start selling their GPUs, that's going to push the scalpers out of their buying positions, and they're going to have no choice but to lower the price. And that's what we need. We need TSMC to open up more fabs. We need Samsung to open up more fabs and to start flooding the market with GPUs to where the price of all these scalper prices. Come on, a 580 is still what, $400, $300? Yeah. It's ridiculous. And how old is
Absolutely
that GPU?
Ridiculous.
Jeez.
25 years old.
Yeah, but hey, 30 mega hash at what? What's the lowest wattage that most people would get? Like 90 watts maybe? 30 mega hash at 90 watts. Right. But
I'm an expert on AMD.
I actually like AMD. So let's. I'm gonna get into the first talking point and try to plead my case. All right. So obviously this video is more of a talking head. So just bear with us, and thank you everybody for joining. If you do have any questions for Seb, leave it in the live chat, at me or at him. Leave it in the live chat. Send a super chat, whatever you got, because we're going to hold those off to the end of the video. If there's no questions, then we'll just wrap up. But why you should consider mining. All right, so one, you're hoping secure the network, right? That's a big thing for me. I really love security, and that's one of the biggest questions that we had in our meeting with many of the devs from the Ethereum team, right? So when we were talking, and it was bits. Myself, Son of a Tech, we were concerned when EIP 1559 happened. The security factors, what could impact it. If the hash rate drops so low, mathematically, these are the different attack vectors that could happen. So by mining, you with just one GPU can actually help improve the security of the network. Additionally, participation is key. And, even though everybody right now, I would say at least 80% of the miners out there are just doing to make profit, to make some type of income on the side. And I understand that. But a lot of these projects that I mined that in the past don't even exist anymore, I just wanted to participate. I just wanted to get involved in the community, right? So I'm communicating with people on their Discord, their Telegram, whatever it may be. And to me, that's just fun, right? So look, I wouldn't have met Seb if I wasn't mining, right? So through the grace of the community and the environment that we're in, I'm linking up with great individuals, right? So Red Panda Mining, Son of a Tech, Seb, Chump Change, Misfit Mining community is great. Brandon Coin Mining community is great. And that kind of environment or that kind of community that the mining team has, to me, is just something I want to be a part of. So that's why I would get into one project or the other. Some projects are a little bit shilly, right? So the members will shill that project till they die. But there are projects out there that respect miners, and that's a big key for me. If the project doesn't respect the miner, or what we've done for that community as a whole, I may mine it, right, because it's profitable, but I don't feel as involved anymore. I don't feel as wanting to be there, so to speak. Additionally, you're making a profit, right? So you're a gamer, you're at home, you got a GPU, right? Even if it's a 1070, 1060 6 gig, because the 3 gig can't mine Ethereum anymore, but there are things that you can do, by the way. It's 580, 480, 470, doesn't matter. New gen, old gen, AMD, Nvidia, and soon to come Intel, you will be able to game on that GPU, and during your downtime, mine on that GPU, so you can make additional income for yourself. And again, not financial advice, what happens if you hodl that? If you would have started hodling Ethereum or mining a cryptocurrency way back when, let's just say late 2015, 2016, look at the profits you would have been in now. Even if it was fractional percentages or satoshis of that cryptocurrency, you still would have been ahead. And even now, if you start mining now, who's to say even though the market's predicting big numbers for everything, who's to say that you wouldn't be able to take $100 that you mined over a few months and that turns into 1,000 or something. Again, not financial advice. I'm just mathematically, the numbers are there. So getting started now is going to be beneficial for you. And if you're trying to build, not financial wealth, I wouldn't call it wealth, right? We're not getting rich overnight. But it's something that I enjoy doing. It's a great hobby. I enjoy the community. I'm helping secure the network, and I am building some type of blanket, so to speak, for my family, for my children when they grow up, right? College money, whatever it may be. As far as regulation, that's a different video and a different topic for a different day. But as far as mining, you should consider doing it and getting in now. Don't think it's too late to get into. You certainly can start doing it now, because even if Ethereum goes up, 6K, 8K, that's still profitable. And if Bitcoin goes up, that usually tends to bring all the other ships with it, right? So high tide raises all boats, so to speak. I think that's how you say it. But a lot of people are like, why are you mining, right? Why are you considering mining? You're spending electricity, you're making your house hot. And I agree, my wife hates it because I am making the house hotter than it should, which is why so many of you recommended grow tents and whatever, or build a shed like Hash Raptor, which that's a great idea, but money isn't something I like to spend. I'm always working and I don't like to spend it. But anyways, why should you mine instead of buy? Well, I wanted Seb to talk to that point, and then get some feedback from the community or in the questions on the live chat. So Seb, why give us some of your thoughts on why users should mine cryptocurrency instead of buying.
Absolutely. So I have two main points for this that I've thought of, which the very first one is actually very simple. You are basically getting the crypto you're mining at a huge discount. And what I mean by that is, instead of paying for this crypto, the only thing you're really like actively paying for is the small fee you're paying in electricity to mine it. And so that is the discrepancy that we see when we look up mining profitability on different websites like What to Mine, for example. And you know, it says to put in your hash rate and how many watts your graphics card is consuming.
Right.
And it gives you a number back saying you earn a total income of maybe $6 a day, of which $5.50 are profit, let's say, if you have a very energy efficient GPU, right?
Right.
So basically what that is saying is you're getting $6 worth of Ethereum for 50 cents.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
That is a very good deal. And I really believe that is a main issue for why mining it is better than buying it. You're getting, you know, the same amount of crypto, or actually you're getting a bigger amount of crypto because you can afford more in terms of electricity than you would get if you were to spend all that money on just buying the crypto, right?
Right.
So that is my first point. The second point is with mining and spending your money on electricity and mainly the price for the GPUs you buy to mine the coins, right? You are also getting a hedge. And what I mean by that is, let's say you were to invest $10,000 and buy $10,000 worth of Ethereum. There is always the possibility that Ethereum could just completely die and be worthless tomorrow. It could be worth $0. Then you will have lost your whole $10,000. Like, that is just gone. But if you spend $10,000 buying graphics cards and you start mining, and all of a sudden Ethereum just dies worth $0, well, first of all, there might still be other very profitable coins you could mine instead.
Right.
Or worst case scenario, all all cryptocurrency is just gone and worthless, and there's nothing left to mine. You still have $10,000 worth of graphics cards that you could, I mean, either build computers out of. You could just outright sell the graphics cards. You could just keep them to game on, or give them away as Christmas presents to your family, or whatever. You know, like you're still owning an asset at the end of the day when you go down the mining route as opposed to the trading route.
Right. The second the value of the GPU is made diminish, but you still have value, and especially right now. So like
yeah. Oh yeah. If you're able to pick like a GPU is an immediate profit if you're able to pick it up at MSRP right now. You could mine on it for a few months. You could mine on it for a few months and then still get the whole money back that you spent buying the GPU.
Right.
And in that scenario, it's basically just free money.
You know, so I want to share a story real quick. I think my son's trying to get my attention. The story is all right. So my buddy, who shall not be named, bought cryptocurrency, and this was during the 2017 bull run, right? So I was already mining cryptocurrency, but my buddy went ahead and bought cryptocurrency. He didn't buy one of the, Bitcoin or Ethereum. He bought Litecoin, and here's the thing: he bought Litecoin at the valuation of almost $200 per Litecoin. Instead, what I was doing at the time, and this was a big thing, it's not so big now, was you mine, say for example, Zpool, Zergpool, whatever, you're auto-switching, and you're getting paid out in the currency you want. And one of the currencies that you could choose was Litecoin. And that's what I was doing. So I was earning Litecoin while mining various cryptocurrencies that may have been more profitable while he went out and bought. Well, guess what? 2017 went away and then crashed, didn't it? So now he lost all of those funds. He still had the Litecoin, but he lost all of those funds while I stayed ahead. And the only thing I paid for it was electricity. And this is only when I had so many GPUs. It's not like the amount of GPUs that I have now, and I don't have a whole entire farm, but it is still something significant, at least to me, to try to build up that. And I still, guess what? I still had the Litecoin. I still had the Litecoin that I originally mined. I let it fall, let the market fall, and I still held out. You know, the HODL gang is strong. But the point being is he bought, he lost out. I mined, and yeah, I lost with him, but I still have my cryptocurrency. And look at where it is now. If I did sell it now, I would still be up to my previous position where I was when I was mining it, or when I started accumulating the cryptocurrency.
And you still have those graphics cards.
Exactly. Still have it. Well, technically I do. There's one, the 980 Ti is in my son's system, in his gaming system. And the 1070s, like I said, I flipped for the 1660 Supers. But yeah, you can easily flip GPUs. Say you have a bunch of 580s now, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to upgrade to the 5000 series. You can flip those GPUs, especially right now at current market conditions, make a profit because you've already been mining on them for so long. So you made a profit there. You're making a profit selling GPUs, and then upgrade to whatever later on. Because I wouldn't buy anything at scalper pricing right now. Which, by the way, I got the 6700. If you guys paid attention to my Twitter, 6700 XT came in last night. I actually got that at MSRP second hand from a user, and they shipped it in a Love's diaper box. It's hilarious. If you go look at my Twitter, it's on there. I talked to the person, and it was actually a very smart move, because right now, if you're shipping GPUs second hand, and they can tell that it's a graphics card, it's likely going to get stolen. So he shipped it in the Love's box, a diaper box, as his anti-theft protection. It was hilarious.
That's actually really clever.
Yeah. So because nobody's going to open up a diaper box. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, you could still, even now in this current market conditions, get your hands on some GPUs for some relatively decent pricing. So let's see here. Do we have any questions in the live chat? I wonder. I see some tags for me. So I'm going to go by whoever tagged my name. I may have missed a few. First off, thank you, Golden Wolf, for becoming a techie and joining the membership. MC, what's up? Appreciate you stopping by. Everybody, I appreciate every single one of you. The Crypto Mikkel team coming over, the raid. Thank you, everybody. So Ben asked, thoughts on Equilibra to mine after Ethereum. So Equilibra is a coin that's a Kryptonite underscore GPU algorithm. I did a video on it, but what are your thoughts on it, Seb?
Well, I don't know very much about it, so I'll preface it by that. I see it often in the top, or like towards the top for profitability on what to mine.
Right.
So it's obviously a good coin in terms of profitability right now. Actually, if you have a few things to say about it, I'll meanwhile you talk, I'll bring up my little spreadsheet that I made for my what will happen after ETH 2.0 video, and
okay.
I'll see where I put it there. So
let's see here. What do I want to share? Let's see here. So yeah, as he was saying, like Equilibra or XEQ has been one of the most profitable cryptocurrencies to mine for a while, or at least has been up on that list. Thoughts as far as mining it after the fact? I mean, yeah. I mean, I would tell you this. I don't predict, and again, I'm not a guru. I can't predict anything. But I don't predict that a lot of the hash rate from the Ethereum community will switch over to Equilibra. I can see it, and a lot of the tech YouTubers and crypto YouTubers call this out. I can see much of the hash rate going to Ergo, Ravencoin, maybe Firo, and Ryo. But here's the thing. There's 3 coins that are profitable right now that are all on Kryptonite GPU. Ryo, Conceal, and Equilibra. Guess what you can do? If you're interested in mining that algorithm, you can use auto switching on Zerg Pool or Z Pool, which I do plan on doing. And you mine any one of the Kryptonite GPU algorithms and get paid out in Litecoin, Bitcoin, whatever you want, whatever's supported on that website. So that's something to consider. Do you find what you're looking for?
Yes. So just in my spreadsheet here, I did the Equilibra net hash conversion to of how much it is like in equivalence to the overall Ethereum network hash rate,
Right.
and it's about a 500th. So that doesn't sound too much, but if you think about it, um, like let's say half of the Ethereum network hash rate is either ASICs or people that will just give up.
Right.
Then you're down to it being a 250th, and that means it can swallow quite a big portion of the Ethereum network hash rate and still stay like pretty profitable. Because I believe when I made this spreadsheet, profitability for Equilibria on a single 3070 was about, I actually think it was almost $4 a day or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, $3.60. So that means, like, if you're okay with half that, like around $2 a day for a 3070, that's still a pretty strong network.
You said 3070. Is that non-LHR or LHR?
Yeah, not non-LHR.
Okay, let's see.
Although
Here.
I don't think Equilibra is affected. Like, I don't think Kryptonite GPU is affected by LHR.
I don't think so either. I'm pretty sure it's not, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So
I'm
right
pretty
now,
sure.
right now
I
the
say
current
go.
profitability is for 3070 is around $3. $3.23 after 10 cent per kilowatt hour.
Okay, so it's
Or
still doing pretty good then.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Equilibria was one of the coins I tried when I did my trying 20 different coins on LHR GPU video.
Yeah, and so speaking of that, the algorithms that I believe are impacted by LHR are Ethereum, Ergo, and what else? Isn't there another coin that's impacted?
There are some weird things with certain LHR cards where
It's not
they
all of them,
seem.
yeah.
Yeah, like they seem to have an artificial power limit in place. I know a Red Panda Mining has a 3080 Ti that just won't hash higher than if it's like 30 mega hash on Ravencoin or something like that, while it should get like 50. I also had one person in like my channel on the Misfit Mining Discord that couldn't get his 3080 Ti to do more than like 20 something on Ravencoin, but what he ended up doing was just flashing it with a BIOS of a different 3080, and then all of a sudden he could get full hash rate on Raven. So there are some funky things going on some LHR cards on different algorithms, but it also seems that the further we get with this, the more fixes and workarounds there are. For example, Ergo is pretty much unlocked now, I would say. I did a test recently because it seems to be dependent on the memory type. So if it's GDDR6 or 6X, and then if it's without the X, also if it's Hynix or not,
Right.
they seem to be a bit differently affected mining Ergo. And basically, I tried all three different kinds of memory, and with T-Rex miners, which is the miner I used, like Ergo Unlock, I was able to get full hash rate on all of them, more or less. I think the lowest one I got was like 91% of full hash rate, which that's
pretty
more
good.
or less a full unlock in my book.
You know what I noticed in my own testing, and this is the thing that I love about the mining community, is we're sharing information with one another, right? So Seb comes out with a video showing the unlock of T-Rex miner or whatever the case may be, and I see his data, I see his information, hash rates, overclock, stuff like that, and I test on my own, and I'm like, okay, I see something interesting, and if I have something to add to it, I'll create a video. If I have nothing to add to it, then I just might share the data with him privately. What I notice is Samsung on the 3000 series generation seems to be the better memory, but I only have a certain sample size, so I can't say that unequivocally. So I would say, watch your various favorite crypto miners and see what they say. But yeah, Samsung seems to be the best for the 3000 series generation. SK Hynix, man, I don't know. They used to be really good. But the memory on this generation, it's not so much. And I would say Micron was number 2. So Samsung, Micron, SK Hynix is the memory from the best to the not so best, or not as great. And then on the 10 series, what was it? I think Hynix was one of the best memory you could get. So every generation, right, as these fabs are developing newer technology, they're shrinking the dies and everything, the memory is getting better, but certain manufacturers might have better memory than the other. Now, flashing a GPU, I want to go back to that. Be careful. Not to you, but just talking to the general community. Be careful
no, absolutely. Yeah.
with flashing your Nvidia GPUs. If you have a way to unbrick it, or you don't lose power in the middle of it, great. If you have a secondary GPU, but there's a high probability that you could wind up bricking your GPU, especially if you're flashing it with a BIOS from a GPU that's a different manufacturer. That's where you normally get the bricking. If you try to use the same model, that you can be successful, but you can there also is a higher chance of bricking your card. So just be careful in doing that. Make sure the data is validated before you try it. Have you flashed any Nvidia cards this season?
I have, because there was a special BIOS for 1660 Supers specifically for the Hynix memory ones that allowed you to increase the hash rates by like 10 to 15% almost on them. So I have done that on 5 of my GPUs so far. I have 13. I have 15 1660 Supers, all Hynix memory, and I've done it on the because the updated BIOS is there's either a palette one, or there's a palette one and a MSI one.
MSI,
I unfortunately don't have any palette 1660 Supers with Hynix, but I do have 5 MSI ones. So I flashed all of them, and it worked first try.
And what was the hash rate you were getting on that again?
The best I saw was just above 35 mega hash.
Nice. So an extra, what, I would say 2 to 3 mega hash?
Yeah, so Hynix ones do exactly 31.8 across the board, unflashed. So, an extra 3.2 or so.
Nice. And so Seb has a number of sheets that he would share in his videos. If you're not already subscribed, I put the link in the live chat. You definitely need to go get subscribed. But he shares sheets with information similar to myself. And then if you look at that information and you follow much of us in the mining community, between all of us, you should be overwhelmed with data, and then you can go and aggregate that however you would like to try to get the best hash rate, best power draw, best whatever it may be. And it's really a beautiful thing. I'm going to continue going through the comments. You got something to add to that?
No, I'm excited to hear what people are saying. I saw we have some familiar people in the chat. I see Rondi, I saw MC, I saw Red Panda Mining, obviously Chump Change. Thank you all for stopping by.
Magic Lucky says, our wives are keepers. The proof is that they tolerate the heat even though they have no idea why we're doing it.
Yeah, 100%. Like during summer, the heat was a problem even here. But now, temperatures are really, really dropping where I am. So now it's kind of nice.
Yes, it definitely, like right now, I got the doors open and the air flowing, nice cool air. It's about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. I forget what that is, C. But yeah, it's nice and cool, and so my rigs are enjoying it. That's the benefit of it. So in the wintertime, you can run your clocks a little bit higher, but when it's hot, summer Florida, we have to down clock a little bit. So Ben says grape prices are crazy.
Oh yeah.
Anyone know if they would drop again before EVE 2.0? So I don't think there's any plans that the gas prices will actually go down before EVE 2.0, and that's a problem they need to fix. We warned everybody that we could, or try to educate everybody that we could with EIP 1559 that it was not a fix to the gas prices. Yet, people still thought that was going to be what fixed it, but it didn't. Workcrow, thank you for. I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing, bud? I'm going to start mining as a company now, is what he says, and sell parts and mining setup. All the rigs that I have are already paid in profit. Nice. So you made a profit on his investment.
Yep.
LT asks, do you have any quick references or listing of which RTX cards are hash rate limited? No.
I can tell you off top of my head. So all 30 series cards can be LHR at this point, except 3090s. All 3090s are still full hash rate. 3060s can be, they're always limited, but there was a first generation where it was like the version 1 limiter, where you could get around it with a special driver,
Right.
and running it like directly on the motherboard in an X16 slot, with either an HDMI dummy plug or connected to a display.
Yep.
Yeah, 3070 Ti's and 3080 Ti's are always LHR. 3070s and 3080s and 3060 Ti's can be both. And there are certain tells for each kind of GPU and for each manufacturer whether they are LHR or not. The only surefire way to know is to look at the device ID within something like GPU Z, because then they will have different device IDs.
Right.
When it comes to buying, because usually you cannot look at GPU Z before you buy, look for the box either having an LHR sticker somewhere on it, either on the front or the back. You can also look at the SKU if you can see that somewhere on the box. You want it to say, well, basically you want it to not say LHR or version 2 or V2. And you also, I believe it's for EVGA cards, you want them to say KR and not KL in the SKU. That is what I know from the top of my head.
Yeah, there's different ways to identify. The biggest problem with that is if you're buying secondhand, the seller may not always be forthcoming, which is why you're gonna have to ask some tough questions. But what he said is 100% correct, and I showed you on screen beside him in GPU-Z the device ID, what he was talking about as far as where to identify it. But yeah, I mean,
that is the best way you can do it. If you're buying a used GPU, if you could ask the buyer, the seller, to send you a screenshot of GPU-Z, that is the best. And then just Google, I believe Nvidia LHR device IDs. You should get a list that specifies the device IDs for all non-LHR and LHR versions.
If you also look, if the pictures, and this is just the crazy part and why you're trusting the seller, is if the seller shows pictures of the box or the card and you're able to zoom in and look at the serial number or the identification on the card or box, you can identify whether it's LHR or not by typing in that number. We'll go to a website and you can see, okay, it's KR or it's KL, whatever it may be. But it does take a little bit, research and due diligence on your end to try to identify what's LHR and what's not.
Yeah. Also adding to this, unfortunately for 3060s, non-TIs, the SKU can be both, unfortunately. So you cannot be certain from the SKU, because those cards have technically always been LHR. That means the manufacturers aren't really having to put LHR stickers on the box or change the SKU. Same goes for 3070 Ti's and 3080 Ti's, but they have always been like full LHR.
Yeah.
But if you're specifically targeting the sort of version 1, just like limited 3060s, they can still be really tricky to get a hold of because manufacturers apparently do not have to be very specific about them. And I believe Red Panda Mining accidentally bought a bunch of
LHR cards.
3060s that were full LHR, and he was under the assumption they would be just version 1 limited.
Yeah, I actually have one of the 3060 Rev 1s that I was able to unlock with the dummy adapter and 4.075 driver. So the dev driver I still have. If you go back and find the video and you do have a version 1 or you're able to get one, the driver is in my video and the link in the description, just in case anybody needs it. So Josh A. asks, he states that he has an Asus Z490P with a Celeron G5905, 8 gigs of memory, 850 watt power supply, and it does not work when he exceeds 3 6600 XTs. Switch motherboard to a Gigabyte and it works fine. It is most likely a faulty motherboard. It sounds kind of like it. If you switch motherboards and it works fine, great. What you should do, though, is you should try to add each card. Whenever you're having issues like this, guys, add each card individually, right? Do one card, boot, all right? And if it has a 16 slot on it, obviously. So maybe put the card in the 16 slot, boot. All right, does it detect? Can you install drivers? Is everything okay? All right, great. Now take that card out of the 16 by 16 slot, put in the next one. Does it do the same test? Do the next one, same test. Then when you try to do it on the mining rig, when you adding the risers and everything, don't plug everything all at once. Just connect the first one, test. All right, is everything good? Maybe open up a miner or run some type of GPU load on it, and then see if it works. And then add the next card. But it does sound like your motherboard might be having issues. If not, try using an adapter that will split out whichever slot you think is working. Like sometimes the buy 1 slot may be bad, but the buy 16 isn't, so you can get an adapter to split that out, and you just have all your cards going through that 1x16, which is actually, I bumped into it, but I can't find it now. There's a new adapter that takes a buy 16 and splits it out into 7 GPU connections.
Oh, I saw those. Those look absolutely insane.
I would love to get my hands on one, but I couldn't find it. If you bump into it, just shoot me in Discord.
Only where I've found it is Alibaba from a seller I wouldn't trust.
Yeah, see, that's
so,
yeah.
But just on the topic of motherboards not playing nicely, if you've done all the tests that EVGA just run through, as well as just try the one card and try it in each slot to make sure every slot works as well. So there really is, if you've narrowed it down to the fact that it just doesn't seem to want to use more than a certain amount of cards, be that 3 or like if you have a motherboard with 6 slots, if it just won't go more than 3 cards, like 7 times out of 10 when I've tried helping people on Discord with this, just for some reason turning off CSM in the motherboard BIOS fixes it.
He called it. That's an issue I actually had with my AMD rig in the 6000 series, or adding the 6000 series to the mix rig. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's in the UEFI BIOS when you boot into it. It should be near the secure boot section or in it. Really depends on the motherboard manufacturer, but yes, CSM is a big one.
Yeah. And CSM is short for crazily solves mining.
Crazy. That's good. I like it. Rondi, thank you for becoming a techie and joining the membership. Really appreciate it. By the way, members of the channel will be randomly selected every blue moon, which the next blue moon, by the way, is coming up in December, to win some Bitcoin. When you become a member, you can access the Discord. Stock drops are in there. You do have to verify you're not a bot, that you're an actual human, but once I select a winner, I will notify you via YouTube post, Twitter, whatever, or message in Discord. And then all I got to do is get some information from you so that way I could send you some of that Bitcoin. But yeah, randomly, every blue moon, a winner will be selected. I do have a question from Raviki, or Ravki. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. How many mega hash in total do you have? Well, I have 1 giga hash only. Not much, but it is my own. What would you say you have, Seb?
Well, that depends, because I'm not mining Ethereum on all my GPUs. But right. I did the conversion of, if I had full hash rate on Ethereum on all my GPUs, I would be just below 2 gigahash right now.
Very nice.
And also, Chump Change just cheekily sent me just a photo of a PCIe Express card that looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB ports. So I don't know if this is because he has one and wants to flex, or if he just wants to show me what one looks like. But so there you have it. They definitely do exist, these like 6 PCIe splitter cards.
Dang. Well, I gotta test one of them out, because we know the buy 4, the buy 1 that splits off to 4 USB. Those have been working. I still have mine. It's working. Some manufacturers on Amazon or sellers on Amazon are cheap, and they'll be DOA, but Most of them are pretty good. So Red Panda, thank you for moderating the chat. Samarf, I'm not sure what exactly you're being blocked for, but I saw one of your questions. Why not ASIC? Me personally, it's just a moral stand. ASICs are fine if you have ASICs. I'm not hating on you whatsoever. It's just we want the network to be decentralized, and we don't want ASICs to rule everything. And ASICs have the power to do that. If all the GPU miners fell off of one algorithm or one coin, then they can control the net hash. And sometimes when you have that much control, if the attack vector was implemented and all your ASICs were converted or diverted to mine a particular coin, you can initiate a 51% attack. But yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on ASICs. ASICs are fine. L3 Plus, I think I know a few people that have it, and yeah, I'm not sure. Play nice, guys, in the live chat if you don't mind, please.
It's for me, just on the note of ASICs, I'm just not comfortable enough buying an ASIC, knowing that if there's an algorithm change or that coin becomes widely unprofitable, they turn into doorstops. Basically, they are completely useless.
Right.
While with a GPU, you can mine any coin almost. Any mineable coin is kind of mineable on a GPU to some extent. Or that is a generalization, of course, not every coin, but you have wildly more options mining on a GPU than you do on an ASIC. An ASIC is algorithm specific, right? And also to that, an ASIC, once it's served its life, no one is going to want to buy it anymore.
Right.
And a GPU, you can still sell to gamers or programmers or whoever would want to buy a GPU secondhand off of you. So that is just why I personally don't think I would ever go out my way and purchase an ASIC. But they're definitely good. They're definitely profitable.
Think of it this way too. So you buy a Mercedes or some type of German-made vehicle, which Germans, I love them. They're great. They make great, like AMG, great cars, BMW, great cars. They're great. Here's the thing, though. If you are not inclined or not an automobile enthusiast or mechanic or anything like that, that car breaks down. You're going to have to take it to a dealership, which is going to cost a decent amount of money. Or you can buy a Honda, which you can easily fix up or repair things yourself, research on YouTube how to fix it. You can do the same thing with certain issues on the German-made cars, but much of that's going to be much harder to fix than it would be on the Honda. And same thing with ASICs. If an ASIC breaks down because one of the board go bad or whatever it is, it's one, going to cost you a lot more to get the part, and two, it's going to be harder to repair than on a GPU, right? AMD, take off 4 screws to disconnect the cooler from the PCB, take off another 4 screws to remove the back plate, throw some thermal pads on it, add some fresh thermal paste, boom, you're good to go. Or like I've done in the past, if a PCB has issues because some of the SMDs lost connection or maybe one of the SMDs broke its connection, you can actually put that, and I don't recommend doing this in your mom's oven, but you can actually put that in an oven and reheat the solder joint so that way those connections connect back up and fix the PCB yourself. Obviously, if you do that a lot in your mom's oven, your food's going to taste very metallic, and I don't recommend it. But it is possible to fix a GPU for the regular user to fix a GPU more easily than an ASIC. That's my take on it, and I love fixing things. I've been tearing down things since the Nintendo, and I actually had the. I think much of us in this crypto mining community are relatively in the same age group. I've had the honor and great privilege of growing up with technology as it grew. My first bumping in with technology was my dad's little 5-inch screen where it was nothing but DOS commands, right? That's why I'm good with batch files and direct mining is what I call it, is because I'm command driven. I like to, GUIs are great, but I really love command driven work and where you're having to initiate or set up batch files, set up commands, whatever it may be. That's why I like Hive OS. It's just much of my videos are in Windows because most of you guys are using Windows. But I do like Hive because you get a little bit more control. Moving on.
I just want to give a quick shout out. I saw Dizzy mining in the chat here. Yeah.
Dizzy.
Thank you for stopping by.
How you been?
Whenever I want to know what hash rate any GPU gets,
Dizzy
Dizzy mining is always on top.
Yeah.
He has tested every GPU every which way there is.
You know, I actually have. It's still on back order with Shop BLT, but the RTX A2000, the workstation GPU, the small one, which is supposedly a pretty efficient card. So 40 mega hash, I think around 90 watts or something like that, or maybe a little bit lower. Dizzy Mining did that.
Which card did you say?
I
You
think
cut out for a second.
it's the RTX A2000.
Oh yeah, the A2000.
He did a video on that, and so he validated what my because you can theorize and you can predict what a hash rate will be if you're good with numbers. When you look at the memory bandwidth, the memory allocation, what type of memory, bus width, all that good stuff, you can kind of identify, okay, it's going to be around this area, especially knowing what we know now with the previous data of GPUs. So I predicted it would be close to 40 mega hash, but it's much more efficient power-wise than I expected. 2 questions here, Seb.
Yeah.
From Shooter McGavin. All right. So are either of you trading your mined coins and investing in SHIB nonsense? LOL.
I don't do any sort of trading with my crypto. What I've done almost exclusively is sold everything every time I get a payout. And that is not financial advice. That is just what I've chose to do personally, because in my opinion, markets are high, Ethereum is high. I'm going to cash out now in order to build up my farm as much as I can, and to then have a much bigger farm once we hit some sort of downturn in the market. So that's just what I've done personally. I haven't done much trading or any trading really. I have just been selling my profits and in reinvesting it in extending my farm.
So I'm the opposite, but I'm smart with it. I do take profits.
I'm not saying mine is the smarter way at all. I am just saying
no.
Yeah.
No, this is not against what Seb does. You have your own strategy. Everybody should have your own strategy. There should be a price target. Like if it's this, it's I'm gonna sell or sell 25, sell 50. What I mean when I said I'm smart with it is I'm not selling all of it. I'm selling percentages of it, and if I do sell some of it, I'm doing it a specific way. Let me explain myself here. So I mine a cryptocurrency, and then I use algo bots to trade the cryptocurrency. Not all of it, a small percentage. I mean a very small percentage. I'm HODL gang strong, okay? I HODL, not all my life, but I will take profits. But I use. You guys seen it. I've done videos on it. If you're familiar with the channel, 3 commas, 3C exchange. There are algo bots out there where you can let it just automatically trade. SHIB was going up, the bot was taking little chunks here and there, turning profits. Not big profits. We're talking like cents, guys. I'm not rich, and nor will I ever be rich because I have a family and 2 kids. But I'm trying to stack those sats. That's why I say all the time, stack those sats. So Jeff Mel asks, do we have a 3090? I don't have a 3090. Do you got a 3090? Seb?
No, absolutely not.
No 3090? Okay. All right, let's see here. A lot of questions. I'm not even caught up yet. How did Seb find out about the new BIOS? Where can we find out about our cards? Is there any BIOS out there that removes LHR? Not yet. UDKOX. There's no BIOS that removes LHR. You can probably improve LHR. Depends on the model. But realistically, you should just hang tight, buddy, because guess what? NB Miner just came out with something yesterday where they're getting 74 to 75% of the hash rate. You said you found something earlier where you would get 91% of the hash rate. As time progressed, these mining devs, we got to give credit to the mining devs, guys. I mean, because they're spending their time, and yeah, they do get a dev fee, but they're spending their time to try to figure out how to get a workaround around NVIDIA's, locks and stuff like that. But it's just getting better over time. The more we wait, the better performance we get with our GPUs.
Absolutely. And just to clarify, the 91% I got was on Ergo, not Ethereum. Yeah. The new NB Miner, 70 something on Ethereum. Like that is, we're getting really close to where LHR is kind of doesn't really matter that much anymore. Like if we hit like 80, 82, then that is like almost negligible in my book. It's like it's almost like just getting bad silicon lottery on your GPU, you know?
Right. And bad silicon does matter, by the way, because I have a 3060 LHR that hashes less than another 3060 LHR, and the only difference again is Samsung versus SK Hynix. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. He also asked where I found out about the 1660 Super BIOS. Is that right? Yeah. Just being active on different discords and trying to keep up with what people are talking about, and I believe that was actually someone messaging me, having found it on a Russian site, saying, "Hey, have you checked this out? Is this real?" And whenever someone sends me a Russian link and asks, "Is this real?" then you know it's about to be good.
Yeah, the Russians have been killing it as far as
oh yeah,
figuring out workarounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so short answer, summary of Seb is just you got to keep up with the various discords and communities. Brandon Coin's Discord was pivotal, and I know some of you are in here in your live chat now. Pivotal in helping me and Crypto Mikkel and even Brandon Coin himself identify the workaround for the Rev 1 3060. That's how we did it. It wasn't just me and Brandon Coin just found out. No, it was community sharing information. Hey, try this. I tried this. This didn't work. All right, try this. This didn't work. All right, try this. And just test and tune. That's why I love actually mining. That's another aspect of mining that I really love is the tuning aspect. If you like tuning, even if you're a car guy and you tune cars, like try tuning your GPU to get the best performance in this game or to get the best performance in mining, whatever it is. And watch, you'll have fun, whether it's MSI Afterburner or the EVGA Precision software or through Linux or whatever it may be. Just try, play around. You might like it. Simon Chen, thank you for the $5. Says keep it up. Appreciate you. Red Panda Mining's been a member of the channel for 10 months. Thank you, sir. You're a wonderful asset to the mining community. I appreciate you and hate you all in one time. No, I'm joking. So still new to mining, I would try that. Josh A says that. Still new to mining, I would try that. Thank you. I think he's talking about the motherboard where he was having issues.
All right, okay.
And I think we're caught up on questions there. So it's about time to wrap up any last minute questions because we're going to get ready to get out of here. I'm going to give Seb his time back. Really appreciate you coming on the show today and hanging out.
I really appreciate you having me. Thank you so much. I also see Max Voltage in the chat. Just wanted to give a little shout out to Max Voltage.
Well, Max Voltage is been a key individual when it comes to the Ethereum topics because he actually breaks down things for me in certain areas. Because I made a video in the past where I was wrong or I wasn't exactly right on a particular topic, and he corrected me. And very pivotal. Oh my God, I can't talk. He was very good at providing me the knowledge I needed. So education is key. You're not always right, but...
Yeah, he's just really... I feel like all he does is just study how these things work, because he seemed to always know what's going on with everything.
Yeah, and I got to find his channel so I could link it real quick in the chat. But, yeah, guys, that's the show. Let's go ahead and do a quick summary. Why you should consider mining. The key factors that I mentioned were, again, the community is a big part of it. I love the community. I love participating in the community as a whole, but also because you're mining, you're securing the network, and you can also produce profits. You can also have another means of income. You start off with one GPU is fine. You don't have to go full-blown rig, and even if you do go full-blown rig, as I mentioned in many of my videos, you don't have to build something fancy. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. Go get a shelf, right? There's 3D printed brackets to help you hang the GPUs on a shelf. Obviously, it's metal, and you want to be smart with electronics, and there's different ways to get around it. Like I use cardboard underneath my motherboard. There's all kinds of ways to save money. People use dish racks. Back in the day, BBT and I know about this, we used to use milk crates, just milk crates and zip ties, and you got yourself a little mining rig. So Max Voltage, I just put his channel in the live chat. Make sure you go and check him out, subscribe. Doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but he's very knowledgeable, and one of our colleagues. It does look like he did some MB miner testing, but going back to the point of the video, to summarize, community, very important. That's why you should consider mining. The community is great. And the community of the mining community is so much better than the trading community. Trading community to me is a little bit more cloak and dagger. While the mining community, while there are some bad apples, we share data and we have a great time doing it. We collaborate with one another. Participate and help secure the network. You're actually doing good by helping secure the network. You can make a profit and build some type of wealth for the future. May not be life-changing money, but it will help you out in some form or fashion. And then why you should mine instead of buy, I'm going to let Sebs summarize that one more time for the video.
Yeah, and just why you should mine in general is it's fun.
Right?
Like, it's fun to tinker with these things. It's fun to build rigs and to learn. And it's a good educator to teach you more about just building electronics, putting computers together, figuring out software. So I think that is a at least from my perspective, solid point as well. It never hurts to know things about computers in this world we're living in now, right? But so why you should mine instead of buy is, to summarize, just you're getting the crypto for a massive discount, basically, because you're just paying for the electricity it takes to mine the coin instead of actually going out of your way and purchasing your coin. So you are already getting the crypto at a massive discount, basically, like I said. But not only that, you are also hedging that by buying graphics cards instead of the crypto itself. Because if the crypto market goes to zero tomorrow and everything is worthless, if you bought the coin, you have lost all your money. But if you bought GPUs, you still have GPUs that you can sell off. So that is basically why you should be considering mining rather than buying crypto. If you're feeling bullish on crypto and want to hodl, or just if you want to get into the space in general.
And it's fun, as Seb mentioned. It's fun. It's fun to mine. It's fun to tune to get the best performance out of your GPU. It's fun to collaborate. It's fun to talk to people that enjoy crypto as much as you. And it seemed to be growing. We're seeing a lot of new crypto channels pop up, especially right now. But they bring a new perspective that I have never thought of, and that enlightens me to try to do greater and better content for all of you. So if you like content like this, make sure you get subscribed to Seb's channel. Again, I'll post it in the link. Make sure you get subscribed down below. And I appreciate everybody who came and hung out with us today. And Seb, thank you so much for stopping by. I look forward to speaking with you again in the future, and we'll have to link up again, all right?
Yes, please. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem, not a problem. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I mentioned before, do me a favor on the way out, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell to stay up to date with what's going on. And check out some of the links in the description to help support the channel. They are affiliate links, and we greatly appreciate your support. You all have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you in the next one.